From the Storm Team 8 Tracking Center, this is a winter weather alert.
Snow is moving in this evening with winter storm warnings going into effect in areas of southwest Michigan.
Lake effect snow continues to impact the area with slick roads, causing a multi-vehicle crash this afternoon that closed both directions of I-94 near Hartford. The eastbound lanes have since reopened.
Joining us now with a closer look at traffic, Chief Meteorologist Ellen Baca. Ellen?
Yeah, this has been a really interesting event because it's only really impacted a select few communities in West Michigan. And you can really see that in our traffic conditions. We've got green across the board for most spots in and around Grand Rapids. Even most of 131 is looking fine with drive time. So you do have some of those typical slowdowns, and there are maybe a few flurries. But by and large, we've been seeing the slowdowns because of the snow in southern Ottawa County. This stretch of 190 that's skirting really close to the lakeshore through Allegan, and then especially the closure that you just saw pictures of, the one that was on I-94 and has been in existence for the last several hours. Still a closure for our westbound lane, so the eastbound lane is open, but some of the intensity of the snow has started to let up a bit, so hopefully that will help the crews. We're starting to get some confirmation on area cameras of some of the traffic moving, but again, westbound I-96 still closed at exit 46 for I-94 there. Here's a live look. You can still see some emergency vehicles. Scott, can we expect more snow like this as we go through the evening?
Ellen, it looks like this first wave of snow is beginning to pass further south of Interstate 94, so it looks like the situation will quiet down for a little bit here as we travel forward through the remainder of the evening. We do still have some flurry activity around Grand Rapids, but again, it looks like the heaviest snow is continuing to drift away further to the south. There's a closer look at that situation. You can see that as you approach Dowagiac, Three Rivers still receiving some snow down that way. South Haven, still a snowy situation there. And it looks like visibility is being impacted in some locations. You can see that we have a lowering of visibility in Sturgis to 2 miles, 4 miles currently in South Haven. We're tracking the next wave of snow. You can see that continuing to work its way down from north to south. It's up by Traverse City right now. The arrival time on that roughly near 2 o'clock in the morning near Muskegon. And it looks like lakeshore communities in particular are going to be impacted by that next wave of snowfall as that continues to come through. Let's paint that out on Futurecast here. It shows the next wave of snow continuing to work its way from north to south. It looks like it'll be at its heaviest near 2 o'clock in the morning, as you can see that staged just to the west of Grand Rapids in US 131. And we could still have some of that snow linger on into the daytime hours tomorrow, but it looks like that'll quickly start to wrap up as we get toward lunchtime. So expecting to have the situation start to improve later in the day under cloudy skies with some chilly temperatures. More details on that snow coming up in a few minutes. Brian and Sue.
All right, Scott and Ellen, thank you. Plow crews, they've been busy today in Ottawa County trying to keep up with the snow.
News 8's Kyle Mitchell is live in Holland with more on the effort to keep the roads clear. Kyle?
We're actually in Tunnel Park just outside of the city limits of Holland, and the snow has built up here over the past several hours and throughout the day. Now, people in the area are used to the lake effect snow, so they know this is just the beginning. As the flakes fall, the Ottawa County Road Commission picks up steam so drivers can get to their destination.
It is a big challenge, you know, with over 1,700 miles of roadway. That's a lot of area to keep up with, especially when we have snow events such as this where, you know, you have the lake effect.
The Road Commission has more than 50 plows on the roads and brought in crews early, knowing they would be needed.
With the amount of snowfall we're getting, especially along the lakeshore, they're focused primarily on the higher volume roads, so that'd be like your state routes, highways, and larger volume roads. And then they're also, you know, working their way into more localized areas.
At Zeeland Ace Hardware, the snow means trying to keep the shelves stocked.
People either misplace their shovel or they move and they come, you know, they come to find out they can't find it.
Salt is also a hot commodity in the cold.
We did get a replenishment this morning because we were out completely, so we had a neighbor that extended us some.
The shovels were almost gone this afternoon, and the owner says they always sell out, especially at the beginning of the season.
Well, it happens every year. You know, we either get a lot or we don't get any, so we'll get replenished again in a day or two, but it's not too unusual for us to sell out of everything, you know, because of the weather.
And if you're driving, the Road Commission wants you to give plow drivers some space and is reminding people about a new law requiring you give them room.
So if a truck is, has its flashing green lights on and it's dropping salt or sand and it's plowing or pushing snow, drivers are required to stay at least 200 feet behind that truck, which is equivalent to about 12, 13 car lengths, just to make sure they have room to stop.
The Road Commission says you're also supposed to give plow drivers about 20 feet of space by law when they're stopped at intersections and plowing those intersections so they have room to back up. Reporting live near Holland, Kyle Mitchell, News 8.